Hey everyone, your favorite registered nurse here, Vanessa. Today it was requested that I talk about how to know if you drink too much alcohol. So I thought I would start off with how it affects your brain, then move into how to know that you're drinking too much, and end off with some side effects of drinking alcohol long term. So stay tuned. All right, so let's start off with the reason why you do the things that you do. Well, you are motivated to do or perform a certain activity because of your desired behavior or feeling afterwards. So, the more likely that this activity leads to you having that particular feeling that you're desiring afterwards, the more likely you're going to perform that activity. So, the same applies for drinking. If you have previous learned experiences with drinking that make you feel better or less stressed, the more likely you are to turn to drinking to help you get to that desired state. So, how exactly does alcohol affect our brain? Well, alcohol affects our neurotransmitters and our prefrontal cortex. So, let's start off with the neurotransmitters. It affects three of them in particular, one named GABA, G-A-B-A, one named dopamine, and one named norepinephrine. Well, the GABA neurotransmitter, it actually is responsible for lowering your body's temperature, your heart rate, and your blood pressure when you've had alcohol. The next one, dopamine, is responsible for your happiness and your pleasure center. And it also encourages you to move towards whatever is making you happier. So when you drink alcohol, it actually increases the amount of dopamine in your brain, making you feel happier. And then norepinephrine is a stimulant. So alcohol affects norepinephrine, the stimulant, and then it actually affects your brain by lowering your inhibitions and making you more impulsive and likely to do things that you wouldn't have done when you were sober. Then there's the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is particularly sensitive to alcohol. This cortex is responsible for your personality. It's responsible for making decisions, for planning, and for organizing. It's also responsible for your emotions. So once you have alcohol, it actually decreases your ability to have control over those things. So as you may have noticed, people who are new to alcohol, who may be younger, who have drank too much, are often crying about things. Or when you have drank alcohol, you make some crazy plans to do things that you would never do when you're sober. These are the effects of alcohol. So why, might you ask, do we drink alcohol? Well, again, it's all because of a learned experience. So in the past, when you drank alcohol, maybe you felt more confident. Maybe your worries melted away. Maybe you were happier. These are all reasons why people drink alcohol. It sheds light on people drinking alcohol because of social anxieties, because they want to celebrate, because they want to have fun. Alcohol, again, it lowers your inhibitions and makes you feel more impulsive. So if you feel as though you've been very reserved, maybe alcohol gives you that extra to do whatever you were hoping to do. These are all reasons why people drink alcohol. So how much alcohol do Canadian guidelines suggest you drink in a week? Well, for women, they say 10 glasses or servings of alcohol in a week with a maximum of 2 drinks per day. For men, it's a maximum of 15 servings of alcohol a week with a maximum of 2 drinks per day. So how do you know if you're drinking too much? Well, one of the first signs that I would say you're drinking too much is you set a limit, but you can't stick to it. So let's say you're going out tonight and you only want to drink 2 servings of alcohol because you have something really important tomorrow to do. Well, you drink those 2 servings of alcohol and you just want more. And you think, what the heck? I might as well just drink some more alcohol. Tomorrow's another day. I will be fine. On a one-night basis, maybe that's a reasonable thing to happen, but if this is ongoing where you cannot control the amount of alcohol that you are consuming, then that could be a problem. And it's time to figure out what is stressing you out and focus on that particular situation and figure out what you're running from. so that you can address that, as I mentioned, bang on, head on, so that you're not relying on alcohol to better your mood. Another subtle clue is the fact that all your activities to blow off steam include alcohol. Or not only that, just all your activities outside of your commitments have to do with alcohol. First off, I would check to see whether you are drinking more than the recommended amount per week, which again is 10 servings for women and 15 servings for men. Then you should determine why all your activities include alcohol. Are you trying to run away from a particular stressor instead of dealing with it head on? Do some self-reflection and figure out why you might be consuming so much alcohol. Another one is when tensions are high, your first thought is, man, I need to have a drink to feel better. This shouldn't be your first thought. In fact, there are other stress-reducing techniques that are out there that are much more effective. For example, deep breathing in the moment, taking 20 minutes to yourself to reset and refresh so that you can decrease your stress levels and feel better about tackling whatever is ahead of you. So definitely do some reflection, figure out why your first thought is going to alcohol, and figuring out, if you do have that thought, then what is your next thought instead of drinking alcohol? So your thought being, hey, I need to drink right now, I feel stressed. Instead, acknowledge your thought about drinking alcohol and take deep breaths instead and walk away from your desk. The last one is you are waking up hungover more than 3 or 4 times a week. This is definitely a sign that you're drinking more than 2 servings per day, first of all, and also a sign that your alcohol consumption is a little bit out of control. So again, do some self-reflection, figuring out why you're drinking. Is it to escape something? And then put a limit on it. If you want to go out and enjoy time with your friends, or your work involves going out and mingling afterwards, then that's okay. But you don't have to drink all of that alcohol, at least enough to make you feel hungover the next day. Also, a tactic might be not to stop cold turkey. I'm not suggesting that if you're waking up hungover 3 to 4 times a week, it is going to be easy just to cut back and start drinking the recommended amount. So why don't you drink 2 recommended servings one night, and then the other night you feel like you might be able to drink whatever you were previously drinking. That is fine. Slow always leads to a more likely behavior change. So do it slow, because you're less likely to fall off the wagon. Alcohol does have long-term effects on your body, which generally happen because of excessive and long-term drinking. This can include moderate drinking, alcoholism, and excessive long-term binge drinking. So it is important to be aware of all of these side effects. So there are 3 that I wanted to talk about today. 1 being cirrhosis or liver damage, 2 is cancer, and 3 is effects on your mental health. Number 1, cirrhosis. Alcohol can cause cellular changes in your liver, leading to scar tissue. If there is too much scar tissue in your liver, it's something called cirrhosis. And when this happens, it means that your liver cannot filter your blood effectively. This means that toxins are building up in your bloodstream, and it becomes very hard for your body to function regularly. This usually requires a specialist physician and could eventually lead to in-hospital treatment. Number 2, cancer. Alcohol is known to cause cancers of the mouth, the throat, and the liver. Number 3, mental health issues. As you know, alcohol can make you feel good in the minute or in the moment when you are drinking alcohol and you're enjoying yourself. But alcohol doesn't make you feel great the next day. You feel terrible, actually. And it also has effects on your sleep. Because alcohol affects your dopamine receptors and increases the amount of dopamine in your brain, it actually becomes very hard for your brain to regulate the dopamine when it's not drinking alcohol, or dopamine stores can be depleted. So that means those happy neurotransmitters there aren't enough there to make you actually happy. And the other piece, sleep. It may seem like you're getting a great sleep when you have drank because you passed out, but actually you're not getting your REM sleep that you need to change your short-term memories to long-term memories, as well as to help your body heal overnight. So this is certainly another issue. So that's all I wanted to talk about for today. Don't forget to like the page and to subscribe so you don't miss out on all of the upcoming health topics. See you later.